Okay, so y'all may be wondering what happened in the last video. Well, last time, while I was recording, Texas had a winter storm roll in. And generally that hasn't been a problem for me for the past few times it happened. Careful. But in this case, right towards the end of the recording, the power went out. So, and probably didn't help that my laptop was on low battery. I actually, oh, well, okay. I actually didn't realize it at the time, but I was almost out of power when the power went out on the rest of the apartment. Now, I will say this. It wasn't... I'll preface this. Compared to so many other people in my state who, when the power went out, all we lost was power. We had... we made it out pretty okay here. We had... our food didn't go bad, thankfully. And we surprisingly had water. But... and like I said, I'm fortunate that's all that happened to us. And my heart goes out to the people who lost a lot more and endured a lot worse and are still feeling the after effects of this storm. But yeah, I will say this, it was, and I'm glad also that there are people who are able and willing to help, and are doing so I'm glad for that. But I will say it was 3 days, what I did for 3 days, it was so bitterly cold. I spent my time just basically lying in bed, as bundled up as much as possible, and it still really wasn't enough. It doesn't help that I'm right by the window, and I blocked that off to the best of my ability, but it was just so unbelievably frigid, and I couldn't get comfortable. I spent most of my time asleep. Oh yeah, this is where the I don't know how the SX got in there, because there's nothing beyond it, but we're gonna go in there anyway because... and haha, finally I actually pulled that off. Because we need that. But yeah, there's nothing in here, so I don't know where the SX came through, unless like it melted itself down and just kind of slipped through the cracks, which... that just raises the questions of how the X didn't even get into Sector 3 when it was already open, or anything else. But, you know, whatever. It doesn't really matter. I'm actually curious about something. Let's go through here. And if I'm right... well, I also can't really get up that high, so I'm not gonna... yeah. I believe there's a way through that, so you don't have to go through this navigation room. But strictly speaking, we're not going to do that right now. But yeah, it was back to what I was talking about. It was just so cold. Like, my cat and my dog, the cat stayed with me, and my dog stayed with my mother in the other room. And they were just, again, we were bundled up as much as we possibly could, and it still really wasn't enough. So it was just bad. I was sore for a few days after that. My legs just hurt so much. But like I said, compared to others, like, we got off very light, but it still did not need to happen like that. Hopefully, there we go. Hopefully, we can, in the future, we'll be able to not have to put up with that again. Things can be done for the better, because that was really, really rough. But aside from that, we're gonna go through this again. Actually, it's kind of funny. We're basically at the halfway point of the game. And I'm not complaining about how the game being short. I'm just more like, I'm more having fun with it. So it goes by a lot faster than I expected. So, but I'm still having a lot of fun. Now, if you guys have played Super, you'll recognize these. And it is canon. Samus saved the animals. Some seconds and a few frames ain't gonna stop her here. You've got a little baby. The big purple little eye. But unfortunately, no human survivors. Which, probably for the best. They talk a lot, if this game is any indication. Oh, hey. You see, it's kind of surprising that they just happen to be the same ones. I also love how she didn't realize she had those abilities, the wall jump and the shine spark. Because, especially since, like, really all it was her just applying the speed booster, and not really sure she had any actual upgrade for the wall jump, so it's also one of the things that they didn't tell you how to do through text. They actually just straight up showed you. But I have to wonder how a lot of kids back in the day figured out how to, like, wall jump. Like, I know it seems obvious, you know, you just jump toward the wall and then jump off after you've landed on it, essentially. But kind of funny how the Sector 5 arc room is the only one that doesn't get destroyed again, whereas every other one you've used thus far is trashed. Ooh, right, wrong way. I actually had an idea, but I'm already on this side, so I'm not going to bother with it. Probably, if I'm right, I'd probably need a screw attack, if not a speed booster anyway, which you wouldn't even be able to pull it off, really, would you? No. But, yeah, just how they figured out, like, hey, hit A as soon as you hit the wall again. Now, granted, it was also really finicky in Super. I have a lot of trouble pulling it off in Super. Whereas here, I can do it fairly okay. But that's besides the point. You know, there's one thing I wanted to talk about, actually, while we're here. Since we're just going through Sector 5 again, there's not much really to do. Just hit the computer. Yep. Okay. You've been to this data room before, but I'll show you its position again. Is your objective clear? Now move out. No, I kind of feel like, yeah, they probably could have forgone doing this. I guess it was just kind of a necessity at this point, just because they had already organized it that way. Now you got a lot more enemies in here, too. Man. We're just gonna hop on through. There we go. That's how you get that missile tank. And I think there's more this way, but we're not gonna bother with it for now. Unfortunately, we can just go through this door instead of having to take the missile door, essentially is what we're gonna call it. Oh, I forgot about you. Oops. The noise it makes when it goes through the background too is just unpleasant. I can't really hear it right now because I have the volume low. Although I don't think it was low enough because I think one of the prior recordings picked up the speed booster. Well, okay. Let's just go down here. But it was just... It was... That's one thing about this game that they have really good on is just the sound design. Although I should mention again, I don't like the power bomb noise because it's just too loud for me. Also, this is also nice. Well, down and B while you're balling, I think you actually had to select it with Select and Super Metroid. So, I feel like they really could just remake Super, and it would just work really well with like the upgrades they did. But let's give it a test, and I want to say there's something over here. I think I did this before and I was wrong. Oh well. Right, we have to go down here. Because if memory serves, I want to say something this way was blocked off. If not destroyed. Ah, yeah, the door. So. Yeah. But, anyway, back to what I wanted to talk about earlier. Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. Now, you might be tempted to, you know, you see No Way Out, you might think it's gonna leave eventually. It's not. Also, it can see you if you happen to get close enough. But, yeah, you might be tempted to use power bombs to escape. That'll just alert it, and you'll just, you know, start shooting through the wall. Don't want to do that. But here is something that's kind of cool. The power bomb will bring energy down to that spot. It's kind of like how the charge beam in Metroid Prime can call, you know, restoration points to you. I guess is the term. Energy refills. Refills, that's what it is. But yeah, keep getting off track. Back to what I was talking about. Want to talk about Joy-Con drift, actually. Because I saw on Twitter recently, someone I watch on YouTube a lot. Haven't really watched much lately, just because his projects don't interest me at the moment. And I think he even turned me off on one project due to a rhetoric he was using at the time. Oh, you know what's sad? I think he's no longer red. Oh. Oh well. But Joy-Con, he was talking about Joy-Con drift. And how it was affecting. Alright. These things can finally be destroyed with power bombs. Thankfully. So, that's all good. Which means we can take care of the one that's up there. Wow, that was smooth. I am impressed with myself. You know what? Whatever. Oh, wait, this room. Yeah, this is the one that has... Alright, well... Shoot, I did that too early. Oh, well. But, the power bomb... Not the power bomb, sorry, the Joy-Con drift. He was talking about, like, how he... Oh... Yeah. It's a lot harder than it looks. You gotta really just... You really gotta... Thankfully this doesn't. I think there's only two, so... And... You know, it's funny, when I was doing practice recording before the first episode, I did this in one go. I don't know, he was talking about how the Joy-Con drift had been really bad on his, like, he had gone through, I think it's like, four controllers or some junk. It was a lot. And it was just $600, yeah. And now, I want to say this. Also, yeah, I'll just show you what happens if you try and just jump down. So, yeah, that's how they get you. I just saw the lights flicker, better not do anything. But, but, now here's the thing. The Joy-Con drift stories that people share always really fascinate me because I don't know if I'm doing something different or what, but it just kind of, I never had any problems with Joy-Con drift. I have the same Joy-Cons I've been using since launch, and I actually got another pair just for multiplayer purposes. And I also have my Pro Controller, which I believe he also said he had an issue with that, which, my Pro Controller still works too. And this is going on 4 years, of course, so it just, like I said, I don't know if I'm doing something different, or, oh, actually, you know what? I know I'm wasting time, but I'm curious about something. Just get snuggled and safe here, and by the way, that does clear the entire screen. So, and yeah, I figured as much. Screw attack, so we're not gonna bother with that. But, like I said, I've had the same Joy-Con since launch, they still work. I actually had to get a different Switch only because I think I messed up the strip on the side of the, Switch, and I couldn't connect the Joy-Cons anymore. Like, it wouldn't read for handheld mode. So I wanted to be able to do handheld mode because that's the one I play the most. And I do hope they fix it, but it seems for the most part they're not really incentivized to, because I mean people are still gonna pay out the nose for more of their products. Because this, like I mean, you've seen the Switch; it's massively and stupidly successful, which I'm glad for on that front, because like after the Wii U, people were pretty worried, and I feel like the Wii U is underrated. Underrated. Oh, yeah. And now we come to this point in the game where everything is very terrifying. Oh, did I? I must have done that a little too early. Yeah, I did that too early. But hey, look. Look who it is. Get ready for an epic boss fight. And no, there's no epic boss fight. It's just Riddle's corpse. Which, by this point, if you think about it, Ridley is essentially straight up dead. And even funnier, he was essentially straight up dead in Other M. This was which, again, Other M is probably if they were ever going to retcon the game, Other M would be the one they retconned. But that's not even the actual Ridley either. That's the clone of Ridley from I think they called those Genesis. Those things up in the corner, up above. They called them Genesis in another Metroid 2 remake. I don't know if they actually have if that's their official name or not either, but. And haha, we finally got through this now. We can actually finally get this that we've been denied for so long. And it's just a missile tank, which 175 missiles, that is more than you are ever probably going to need. And I can go through here, okay. But, you know, since the power's out, you know, can't open doors. So, while we can take care of this, there's not much we can do about it. Actually, it's funny, I think if we come here... Oh yeah, there it is. That's the thing I was looking for. Right, and... Oh, yeah. Screw attack. Shut it down. Oh well, whatever. But, Joy-Cons. But yeah, honestly, it's actually also kind of more interesting as well. You know what? I don't think I've ever been in that room. And the map just Yeah. I might have to take a look at that later. When we get the ability to go through there. But, the Nintendo Switch itself, actually, also I should bring up, a lot of people had problems, I remember back in the beginning, where it was, what was it? Oh, okay. So that's all that is. Oh my god. One of the problems they had back in when it first came out was, it was bending. And that was because people kept leaving it, you know, docked all the time, which, that's fine. Also, look, our little animal buddies. I think it's so funny the Edikun is just riding the friggin' Decora. I think that's what they are, the monkey ones are the Edikuns, and the ostrich thing is the Decora. I don't think it's Decora, I think it's Decora. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong, but I also love how the third Edikun is just kind of photo-bopping like it's Impidimp. God. But the the bending of the Switch and all that was because, again, people were leaving it docked all the time. And another thing that really got me was there even anything there? Ah, yeah, there's your hint that that's right there, I guess. Another one was that I think there was a bunch of stuttering issues for some games after it had been docked for prolonged periods of time. So, you know, leaving it on all the time was not advised, but, you know, people did it. And because it was easy, you know, it wasn't like there was that big of an issue. Alright. With it being docked all the time, at the time people realized it. But you know, I don't leave mine docked and in sleep mode. I actually, whenever I'm done using my Switch, I make sure to turn it off. But like, what was another issue people had? Yeah, it's funny how these things are much identically the same compared to the ones we saw in the beginning of the game in Sector 1, but they have, you know, they're so much more durable. Oh, right, okay. Jackass. Did we get there again? Yeah, go through there. So. I think I actually missed that one of my first times through. I must have hit it with a power bomb, that's why. But, let's see, what other issues were people having? I mean, I had a couple issues, but they resolved quickly. I know that at one point, my Switch wouldn't charge, and then it started charging just fine again. I don't know, like, and I'm not, like, super gentle with my Switch. I've dropped it a fair amount, and a few other things, but I don't know. And I have no idea. Oh yeah, here comes the fun boss, Yakuza. This one is a pretty tough boss, because, gotta shake out. Oh, son of a bitch, and that's the big problem with this guy. Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna go over here. Open your mouth, you big piece of shit. Oh, for God's sakes. This guy's name is Yakuza, by the way. I don't know if there's any significant meaning aside from what I know of, but it's the Yakuza. Ah, good. No shot wasted. Sort of. But yeah, this is one of the kind of wake-up call bosses, because he's big. Your arena is not very large, or like it is, but you can't do much about it. Oh, that was so narrow. Yeah, well, that's right that. But yeah, the next bosses from here on out are going to be, like, with the exception of like one up through before the end. I mean, this is obnoxious. I'm firing. I really should just spam missiles at this point. Which actually seems to be doing surprisingly well. That's really sad. I tried to style. That was a big mistake. That was actually kind of nice. Anyway, Space Jump. At least this one I don't think is as finicky as it was in Return of Samus. That one was kind of obnoxious. But yeah, you just kind of turn into just a giant Beyblade, essentially. But yeah, just the Nintendo Switch